Empowerment Hour here on WRGG 93.7 FM. We are GA. So have some quick reads right quick. So let's see. New Guilford Brethren in Christ Church. There will be a free community Thanksgiving meal Thanksgiving Day, November 26th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at New Guilford Brethren in Christ Church, located at 1575 Mount Alto Road, Chambersburg. Meal includes turkey, stuffing, sweet potatoes, desserts, and all traditional holiday food of love. Deliveries are available upon our homebound neighbors within 5-mile radius of the church. To arrange delivery, please call 717-352-2458 by Tuesday, November 24th. Okay, we also have the Greencastle HM Food Pantry will be distributing food on the first Thursday evening of the month from the beginning of 6 p.m. as well as the second and third Wednesday morning from 9 a.m. to noontime. If you experience any food insecurity beforehand, please call 717-597-8333, extension number 2, or email GAFoodPantry, that's GAFOODPANTRY @gmail.com. Let's see. The Greencastle Police Department is holding a food drive to help round up the much needed food items for the Greencastle Food Pantry. The 10 most wanted foods are canned chicken, potato mix, spaghetti sauce in cans, canned vegetables and fruit, baked beans, rice mixes, mayonnaise, macaroni and cheese, canned pasta, Chef Boyardee, and dry pasta. Donations may be dropped off until November 30th at Greencastle Police Station at 60 North Washington Street and at Sunnyway Foods. So boom, 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 there we go. We also have, if you're looking to store your RV or a nice older vehicle, you can contact, and this is it's a 14 by 50 indoor storage. Okay, this is indoor storage with power. You can it's in Marion, PA. You can contact 717-375-4900 and ask for James, or anyone that'll answer the phone would definitely help you out. It's a wonderful storage unit. 15 by 50, that's pretty big. 15 by 50, that's huge. You can pull your RV in there, whether it's drivable, whether it's a tow. You can actually put it in there. It's a nice size. I actually went by and saw it. It's pretty awesome. They have lights in there. It's nice. It really is nice. So, it's getting to be the winter time, getting to be cold. We have a few more warm days left. So when you finish, riding up and down the highways and byways, come on and pull that RV in, this RV storage place. Or guess where you need a place to put that classic car that you usually put in these car shows. You need a garage that's indoor and has power. Guess what? It's a 14 by 50 indoor storage. Okay, so it's in Marion, PA, 717-375-4900. So also, I'm gonna have throughout this broadcast, I'm gonna have 3 questions. If you call in, you will win a $25 Visa gift card. This was donated to me last week for Veterans Day. And of course, Marine Corps birthday was the day before Veterans Day on November 10th, and then Veterans Day was November the 11th. So I'll definitely have 3 trivia questions. You call in, and you will win a $25 gift card. They figured, since I do reach out to a lot of veterans, and this is my segment is basically talking about veterans, they figured, to go to someone in need or someone that may need it. So definitely be on the listen for how to win. So of course you can call in at 717-745-2912. Okay, I'll be here from 6 to about 6:45, and then I get an extra 15 minutes to clean up, because this is a COVID-free radio station, WRGG 93.7. We are GA. So let's get right on to it. So today I had the honor to accompany Blackout. For those who don't know who Blackout is Chuck Timbrook is the owner-operator of Blackout. And then there's also, you have Agent Orange, and then you have some other cars that follow. It's an entourage of vehicles, motorcycles, stuff like that. So they did a Veterans Day parade today. It started in Martinsburg, West Virginia, at the Gabe's and Harbor Freight parking lot. It was some motorcycles involved. It was Blackout, myself, and another Air Force veteran has his car decked out, and some other vehicles as well. And it was awesome. It was definitely awesome. So we went from Gabe's parking lot all the way to Hagerstown down Route 11 to the POW Memorial that's right there in Hagerstown, and then from there we went to the 9/11 Memorial in Hagerstown because they have a piece of the World Trade Center there, and that's the memorial site for 9/11. And it was a wonderful ride. It was great. We had the motorcycle escort, which was cool. It was such a wonderful thing. So definitely shout out to Chuck Timbrook and Blackout and his entourage. All them guys and girls put their heart and soul into this, and it was a wonderful turnout. People stopped and waved, honked, and everything. It was great. I got to take my son with me, so he got to be part of the parade and everything. And I had the Army flag on the back of my truck because I'm Army, so go Army, whoa. So I'm 11 Bang Bang, 95B, let's see, 88 Mike, 92 Yankee, 92 Alpha. Man, it's a lot, So I had a lot of OJT on the job training, which is pretty awesome. So it was a wonderful parade. It was I think it got up to about 10 cars, 10 vehicles, because it includes motorcycles and stuff. So it was pretty cool. I went live a few times, so I'm going live on my personal page. Usually I go live on my Warrior Empowerment Hour page, but I figure, I'll go ahead and tribute it to this right here on my page, and just, share a wonderful story. So, I know there's a lot of veterans out there that, that shares their story, and some that doesn't share their story, and those that don't share their story, hopefully, once you get into a good space, you can share your story if you choose to. I go to Martinsburg, West Virginia, VA for my outpatient stuff. That's where I get all my services done. I have a treatment team, psychologist, psychiatrist, therapist, you name it, and a primary care physician. So it's pretty awesome. I see they're building up at the VA, so that's pretty cool. So let's get right into it. So my name is Don Brown, Mr. Too Easy. So this is where I talk about my service, my experience in the service, before the service, and after the service, and how it affects me personally. Now, I don't speak for all veterans, but hopefully something I say can shed some light on why your veteran may do some of the things they do. So just to, it's a two-way street no matter what. So, of course, November 10th was, Marine Corps birthday. So happy birthday to the Marine Corps. My brother's a Marine, so happy birthday to you. And all my brothers and sisters and armies in the Marine Corps, happy birthday to you guys. Boom, bam, there we go. And the next day was Veterans Day for all veterans, past, present, and for future, because, hey, there's going to be some future veterans coming up, that want to join the military. So that's probably already joined too, and just was in basic training or AIT or whatever the training to call in different branches. But definitely, it's wonderful to speak about the experience you had in the military, and it's wonderful to see that the general population in your cities and your states and your towns support the veterans, because that means a lot. It may not mean a lot to some, but let me tell you something. When I came back from Iraq for my first tour in Iraq, to see the Vietnam veterans there, they gave us gift cards. No, not gift cards. They gave us phone cards so we can make call home to our family members when we first got there. Because we flew in and got to go to the U.S. So they, gave us food and stuff, and a lot of gifts, a lot of trinkets, a lot of stuff. And afterwards, I got to sit down and talk to a Vietnam veteran. He was saying why he did it personally is because when he came back, most of the Vietnam veterans, I don't know about all, but I know most of the ones I interact with, they say when they came back, people threw stuff at them, people spit on them, people was calling baby killers, stuff like that. And they don't want the next generation of veterans that come back from a conflict or a war to feel that way. So they went out of their way to be at these airports. They was at the airports all over the United States. Because I flew into two places. I flew in one on the West Coast in Seattle, Washington, and then I flew in at BWI in the DC side. And let me tell you something. From east to west, let me tell you something. Each time I landed, there were a bunch of Vietnam veterans there, of all different shapes, sizes, colors, you name it. They were there, cheering us on, clapping, giving us stuff, make sure we called home. It was wonderful. So my hat goes off to every veteran that was before me. I'm only a 9/11 veteran, but every veteran was before me. Desert Storm. I only did support for Desert Storm? Yeah, I only did support for that. I think it was for what was that, Libya or something? Yeah, I think so. So I only did support for that stateside, but Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Vietnam, Korean War, World War II, World War One, and any wars that I don't know about in between those times or before my time. But I joined in the end of 94, beginning of 95. It was like December 29th. That's when I signed my paperwork and I got sworn in on the 30th. And then voila, the next couple days was the 1995. But it was wonderful. You know, our military is a voluntary military. Well, besides Vietnam when they had the draft, but in my era it was volunteer with bonuses and stuff like that. But no one joins, at least in my mind, no one joins the military to go to war. You know, you go to get out of a situation, you go to get an education, or maybe you just go to get discipline. You know, for each person it's something totally different. It's a different meaning. But for me, you know, my grandfather did the Korean War, and then after he came back, he was a United States Marshal for 30 years and retired from that. And my stepdad was in the Army too. I believe he did Vietnam or something like that. But, you know, neither one of these guys ever talked about the war. And I'll just share a quick story that I experienced, you know, with my family when it came to being in the military. So I had two brothers that both was in the military. You know, one was in the Army, one was in the Marine Corps. And then I had a sister that was from a different parent that I found out, and she was in the Army as well. So, you know, once I went to Iraq and came back, you know, my two brothers went as well. And at one point, we was all in the Middle East at the same time, which was like, wow. So I had just missed seeing my little brother in the Marine by maybe 20 minutes or so. I visited a FOB where the Marines were at just to get fuel and some MREs, and he had just went on a convoy. I just missed him. But it was pretty awesome. And then my middle brother, he was in the Army as well, and he was over there fighting a good fight. So it was just awesome to know that all of us was over there at one time. And then once they found out, they did pull my middle brother back because I was infantry at this time. Well, we all were infantry basically, but they pulled my middle brother back and brought him back, I think in Kuwait, and then back to the stateside for a few months until one of us came back home. But you know, once we got back, you know, my granddad called us, and we all met at his house, and you know, we sat and had a drink. And let me tell you something, you know, in the basement was his man cave. Now think about this. This was in, let's see, I went over there 2003, got back 2005, so around that time frame, 2005, 2006. So, you know, I don't think we had smartphones. We had phones, but you know, it was more of just still using regular phones at that point. But we got there, you know, and he has his basement that was the man cave. Had this big screen TV, which was like a box screen TV, not a flat screen, okay? Because remember, this is like 2005, 2006, so they still had the big screen TVs with these 4 big bubble, blue, red, green, or whatever lights in that had the picture. And then he had this big, huge fish tank down there, and this big bar, and then he had this refrigerator that had nothing but beer in it. So, and then his little snacks. But then we all got down there, you know, he poured us some Jameson or whatever we was drinking, but we all drank Jameson, took a shot of Jameson, and we sat there and didn't say a word. And that, you know, right there meant a lot, not saying not one word. And it was like, you know, your grandparents and your parents love you regardless. Your family's going to love you, you know, through thick and thin. But that moment, it was like he accepted us, not as a relative, but as a battle buddy. You know what I mean? It was the unspoken word, like, hey, you are men now. You're part of this era. You're part of this part of history, fighting for this country, fighting for this freedom. And that right there was just wonderful. And, you know, we just sat there, drank a beer. And after that, you know, we all went our separate ways, you know, went back into our lives, you know, back on active duty, doing different stuff, traveling, all that stuff. But it was just wonderful, you know, to experience that. You know, it may not mean a lot to some, but it meant a lot to me. And, you know, that's my story. And, you know, being in Iraq, that's a different story. And it's some things I'd say on the radio station, but you know, some things are just better not said, but it's all good. But you know, let me tell you something. It's just wonderful to be a part of history, to fight for our freedom. Not to say, not to diminish what anyone else do, because everyone has a role. No matter what you do in life, everyone has a role, and with that role, it affects every single body. Whether you're at Walmart, now I always use Walmart as a analogy, only because when I came to Chambersburg, I used to go to Chambersburg Walmart all the time, you know, in the evening time, and there was this one guy that just a wonderful greeter. You go in there, hey, how you doing today? You know, hopefully you're having a blessed day. Da 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 da. And at first, you know, you walk by and you're like, oh, I'm doing good, doing good. You get your cart, and me, I focus on what I'm doing. I know what I'm going to get. I go in there and get it, and then I come out because I don't want to be in there already because a lot of people. But then the one day I didn't see him, I got worried. I went to customer service like, hey, where's the guy that usually greets people? You know, well, he retired, you know, him and his wife moved to Hagerstown, and da da da. I was like, what? And it was like I was lost because I saw this guy every single time I went in there. And it wasn't I went in there every day. It was like every time I went in there, he was there greeting me. So it meant something, you know. So when I didn't see him, I was like, what in the world? What happened? You know, that's like, yeah, he retired. You know, he was already retired, but, you know, he just had to move to Hagerstown to, you know, a different area where I think his children was at or whatever, because he was a little bit up in age. But it was just great to see that. And him greeting me every time I went in there meant something. You know, the first couple times, like, okay, this guy just keep greeting. But then it was like, let me stop and slow up and actually engage with him. And it was awesome. And it was just like, when he's not there, it's like, damn, I feel bad. You know, so it was just, it's weird to explain, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. You know, but it was just awesome, you know. So that greeting meant something. It really did, and it was awesome. So let's see. With that, let me play a quick song right quick. And this song is dedicated to the House of Blackout, and to all the veterans out there, and to everyone that's listening. So this is called "Freedom Isn't Free" by Creed Fisher. Okay, the song was "Freedom Ain't Free" by Creed Fisher. So it's awesome. It's awesome. So get right back into it. So here's if you would like to participate and win a $25 gift card, this is your time. So we're going to take the first 3 calls to get these answers correctly. So I'm only going to ask 2 questions right now, and we'll take 1 caller by phone and 1 caller because I'm on Facebook Live. If I see the name come up, then I will broadcast and say who you are and that you got the question right or wrong. So of course the first question is who is doing a food drive that I spoke for in the beginning of this broadcast? And then the second question is, how many years of service did I serve? So those are the 2 questions. So if you guys heard, that was the 1 caller called in and got the question, how many years did I serve? 16 years is the right answer. Okay, so that was Miss Ruth Murray. So shout out to Miss Ruth Murray for winning one of the $25 gift cards that was donated to us by an anonymous donor that wanted to make sure that my listeners get to participate and win something. So it's definitely for Veterans Day and for the Marine Corps birthday. So thank you. So also, if you're on my live, the other question was who was one of the people that I said was doing a food drive. Okay. So if you know that answer, definitely type it in there, or you can give us a call at 717-745-2912. Okay, so I'm going to get right back into it. So I just played Freedom Isn't Free by Creed Fisher. I just told you guys I was in a Veterans Day parade with Chuck Timbrook and the old operator Blackout. You can also follow Chuck Timbrook on House of Blackout on YouTube and on Facebook. Okay, he has a YouTube channel. He has veterans on there. They have a lot of giveaways. They're always collecting donations. This big semi truck is a sight to see. It's a wonderful big truck. It's dedicated to our fallen, to our POWs, to the MIAs, to all veterans. Okay, also to our first responders. It is a wonderful truck. Today we went to the POW memorial right there in Hagerstown. We played taps and the Star Spangled Banner. Let's see, Cub Scout and Troop 135 just did a food drive. Okay, thank you, April. All right, but that wasn't one that I actually talked about in the beginning of the show. But thank you. Just to let you know, one of the my followers on Facebook Live just said Cub Pack and Troop 135 just did a Q food drive, and I believe they're part of Greencastle too, because I did see that on one of our feeds. I believe one of the troops. There's so many troop numbers and packs, so definitely give. Make sure you guys continue to give food to the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. That's your local troops, because they are always doing food drives. If you get the little, I know when I was for Troop 124 or 125 in Chambersburg, I know we had those little yellow door hangers, you know, and we dropped them off on one weekend and we picked them up the next weekend. So shout out to Miss April and the Cub Scouts and troops of 135. You guys are doing a wonderful, wonderful job. And please, people, please definitely donate to these food drives. Definitely to the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, because these little children, they're our future. They're leading the way. They're learning things. And you know, when I was with the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, let me tell you something. These young men, okay, are very resilient. They're very smart. They have to, you know, win these badges and get these things in the Weeblos, the Tigers. It is awesome. So definitely support your local Cub Pack and your local troop, and definitely shout out the Troop and Cub Pack 135. Definitely shout out to them, and thank you, Miss April. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna get right back into it. So so the next question is well, I'm not gonna say that one just yet. Okay, yeah, I'll say that one. Name one song that I played. Okay, so of course you can only win once. Okay, so we can't have the same caller calling in, but you can only win once. From that though, I'm gonna play a quick song. Let's play Stop When You See a Uniform by Buddy Brown.